Hello and welcome to A Star to Steer Her By. We're on episode, I just looked at it and forgot what it was, 90,000, 96.
Woo!
We are covering episodes of The Next Generation, Future Imperfect, and Final Mission. Finally, this final mission. As usual, I am Ames.
I am Caitlin.
I am Jake.
And this is Chris.
Awesome sauce.
As you can maybe tell, we replaced Jake with a robot named
I am
Jake.
Robot Jake.
No contractions for you, Mr. Robot.
That's a good segue into this week's shitty episodes.
Yeah.
I
You
mean,
didn't like either of them?
Not really.
Oh, interesting. Well, let's talk about that. Let's talk first about,
Let's unpack that, shall we?
Yes. Why do you feel like that, Caitlin?
How do you feel?
I don't understand the question.
If Troy were here, she'd figure it out, I'm sure.
No, she wouldn't. She's terrible.
In Future Imperfect, we're hanging around Alpha Onias 2, an uninhabited Class M planet that there's something they want to look at on for reasons.
There's rumors of a Romulan base.
A Romulan base?
Remelian.
Do they have Romulan ale there?
Yes. Of a chameleon base. So they're hanging out on Alpha Onias. Riker, Geordi, and Worf are on the planet when suddenly they try to beam up because it's really foggy and they don't like it. And it's not working, and it's not working, it's not working. And then finally, Riker wakes up in sickbay and everyone suddenly has gray streaks in their hair. Every single person, which is the way we can tell that 16 years have passed.
Wait, did Bev actually have gray? Because I thought she just had a stupid hairdo. I didn't notice any
Oh
gray.
no, there was a streak of white on the side.
Was there? Oh,
Because of
I'm
course
sorry,
there
I
was.
missed that.
Yeah, they got the gray hair right. They didn't pick up the paunch that they would all gain in the last...
They got Picard.
Except-
Picard they did alright with.
Yeah, except Patrick Stewart. I saw a picture of him recently. He's fucking old man ripped all of a sudden.
Oh, so
That's
keep in
because-
mind, though, that
hi,
that
podcast.
16 years in their future is 10 years in our past. So, what do
Years
these people...
in our past.
What do these...
They've de-aged?
What did these people look like in 2007?
Oh, I see what you mean.
Probably
Yes,
still
yes.
beautiful.
That's true.
No, Riker was paunchy.
Was he?
Yes.
Yeah, I saw him on Beyond Belief.
Like Val Kilmer paunchy or just normal paunchy?
Alec Baldwin.
Yeah, but Alec Baldwin
Baldwin
is like a
still looks
fine
good.
wine. He gets better with age.
Does he?
Yeah, except for, I mean, when he insists on opening his mouth and talking. Anyway, Ames, go
Yeah,
on.
sorry.
Yes, so we're on Alpha... Well, after our Alpha Onias misadventure, Riker wakes up and Bev explains to him, like, oh, when you were there on the planet, you picked up some kind of virus that finally showed its effects in the past 6 days. And what the effects of this virus do is it makes you not have any memories from before you first picked it up. You've been in a coma, so now you don't remember anything of the last 16 years. Let's show you all the things that happened in 16 years. Let's see. Geordi doesn't need his visor anymore. There's a Ferengi on the bridge. And I nearly forgot to even mention, we're starting peace with the Romulans. Because that's a thing that's possible in 16 years. Have you seen my gray streak, by the way?
Have you heard that the Romulans are back?
Totally back. They are the backest. And Riker says, this sounds really weird, and I feel like I shouldn't be involved because I don't have any memory of this. And Picard, who is now an admiral somewhere...
On a bird of prey, right?
Yeah, well, he's flying in on the bird of prey, I think,
Right.
to bring the Romulans to Riker so they can talk about these things. Riker wants to recuse himself, and Picard insists that Riker is the man for the job, even though he has no idea what the fuck is going on. And he agrees. He's like, yeah, sure, this sounds right. We can totally
it worked
do
with
this.
Sarek, apparently.
Sarek still had his memories. He just didn't have control over his bowels. I mean,
Well,
yeah.
why not both?
Column A, column B. We also learned that in the last 16 years, Riker had a son that he's now not forgotten entirely, named Jean-Luc.
You know, though, that checks out. That
Yeah.
feels right.
Yeah.
All about that feels
And Riker
right.
is still feeling like something's wrong. He doesn't remember his son. He doesn't remember his wife, who evidently died 2 years ago, who he should be mourning and has forgotten entirely. And he comes to realize, wait a minute, show me some pictures of my dead wife. Fuck! That's Minuet! I fucked Minuet? Oh wait, no, I knew this.
But I didn't know I could get Minuet pregnant. I figured that was a safe blow to blow.
Jean-Luc is a hollow baby.
We have the technology now.
Riker realizes, okay, something is afoot, because Minuet isn't even a real person, which means I don't trust any of what's going on. He goes up to the bridge, he yells at Picard, and he catches Data in a contraction, which Data shouldn't know how to do, even though he's done it many times before, and realizes, okay, I don't believe any of this. I'm not telling the Romulans anything, because they're surely up to something. And, not Tarragon. What's his fucking name? Tamalak.
Tarragon!
Tamalak says, all right. The jig is up, let me explain. We've actually imprisoned you, and we were trying to use this holoprogram kind of a thing to get you to give us information that we couldn't figure out with our brain scans, but you were onto us, so just go into this prison with this boy who we were using to model your son. And Riker tries to strike up conversation with this boy, Ethan, who's also imprisoned by the Romulans. And the boy says, well, what we could do if we escaped, because I escaped once, but they caught me again. But I know there's a secret compartment somewhere that's as big as someone's fucking house. Let's go there. So the two of them together beat up some Romulans and take their guns, go hide out in these shafts that opened up into some caves and shit. While Riker is chatting with Ethan, saying, okay, now that we're in here, let's figure out some stuff. And Ethan says, oh, I don't know. Ambassador Tomahawk may be back soon.
Say Tomahawk earlier! Yes!
And Riker realizes, wait a minute, he was only an ambassador in that holo program. He's actually just, your commander, captain, something or other. Some other rank.
So much lower rank Romulan.
Something, like, you're lying to me. What are you in on? And finally the kid, like,
and then Riker roughs up a child.
Holy shit. And then Ethan finally admits, okay, I'm actually a little insectoid alien named Barash, and I've just been lonely on this planet where my mother stowed me away whilst aliens were attacking us, and they killed her, and I've been here forever just using this machine to make projections and shit, and really I'm just lonely.
So Riker wanted something real.
So Riker just kind of adopts him as his son? That's unclear.
Well, until they get to the next starbase and they, shut him out in airlock.
Yeah.
I think they're going to jettison him. I think they're going straight from nothing to Code Red, and they're just
going to... Code Finney.
Just jettison that motherfucker right away.
Yeah, so presumably Riker lives happily ever after. Barash continues doing his thing. In Final Mission, several plots are happening.
None of them interesting.
Let me remember which ones they were. Let's see. On Pentaris 5, they are having a dispute among miners, which Picard has to bring Durgo on his stupid shuttlecraft to...
You think their parents would deal with that?
Okay, Khal Drogo.
Yeah. Khal Drogo has to go to... The fucking miners, I get. Yes.
I didn't until you said that.
Yeah. So
I just thought Chris was having a stroke.
So they're on their way to go to Pentaris, whilst the ship has to go deal with this issue on Gamelon 5, a planet where there's an abandoned garbage scow leaking radiation that will kill all of the inhabitants. To which I say fine, because they all look like yarn balls. So I wouldn't
Dude, yeah,
wouldn't
they were
mind.
Like catfish, horrible monster
Raggedy
creatures.
Anns, yeah. And they may as well have gotten it, but whatever. So whilst Riker and the Enterprise is dealing with that, the shuttlecraft containing Wesley and Picard and this asswipe Durgo.
Asswipe! That's a good one.
Are heading off to Pentaris to figure out this other thing. When, oh no! The shuttlecraft goes kerplooey and they have to go land on some moon. They crash land and they realize, shit, we're not doing well out here in the sun because we're in desert land. Let's go find some caves to hide in. They eventually go find some caves.
And they enjoy some spelunking.
They try to find water in the caves, but the water fountain has a big, gigantic force field thing on it. And when they try to get through the force field using their guns and stuff, space ghosts attack them from coast to coast.
Yeah.
Picard has to save Wesley from some falling rocks and then gets himself injured. So Wesley has to both tend to Picard, try to figure out the space ghost thing, and try to prevent Durgo from fucking them all over in these caves, because Durgo still wants to try to keep shooting the fucking fountain. So he tries shooting the fucking fountain some more, and then gets himself dead. Whoops. Sorry, Durgo. We hardly knew you. Actually, we knew enough. We knew you were an asshole.
Yeah, you suck. Also, isn't that the definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over again?
No, he did it a different way.
He had a new plan.
Yeah, honestly, I thought the new plan was a logical plan. But Wesley was also being a little brat the whole time. Because he's going to go off to the academy after this, and he's going to be a big boy.
He was being a real bitch.
Yeah, it's like, well, he had fucking senioritis. It's like, I can do whatever I want now because I'm graduating. Finally, Wesley figures out some way, using his tricorder, to break through the force fieldy thing.
Mash the buttons.
Getting some water that saves Picard for reasons. And then Bev shows up after everyone else dealt with the fucking radioactive scow by throwing it into a sun in a really long plot line which no one followed. That's about right.
Yeah.
Sounds good. So, Future Imperfect.
See, I like Future Imperfect. I'm sad Caitlin didn't care for it.
Oh, you know why? Because it felt like a rehash of, like, the Squire of Gothos, but not as good and not as interesting.
How?
Yeah, I'm not seeing that.
Well, because...
The projections and shit?
Yeah, the projections and shit.
Yeah, but Gothos admitted who he was from pretty much the off.
Yeah, but they still didn't really quite understand what he was, that he was like a child.
He reminded
True.
me a little bit of Charlie X, in that what is his life? He's just been alone, basically.
Yeah.
But I feel like there was also... Didn't they trick someone into being in the future? No, we just had a, like, weird alternate universe bullshit, like, just the other day, didn't
Yesterday's Enterprise?
I don't know. It was, like, recently. I felt like... I don't know. I just felt like... It just felt like we were kind of rehashing a lot of concepts, and I wasn't that impressed.
Yeah, I can see a couple similarities to Yesterday's Enterprise, because we're seeing a different version of the ship.
Yeah.
It wasn't, like, bad. It's just... I didn't find it that interesting.
I like the ideas a lot. The ideas of the layers of what this kid is putting on Riker just so he can have some fucking company.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta admit, it's weird. I've definitely seen this one, but I forgot what the resolution was. So I was there like, yeah, I know this is all a Romulan hoodly-doo.
And nope, there's another layer in this.
Yeah.
The Romulans was nothing but a red herring.
And like, I even figured, so like, okay, this is still part of the ruse when he's with Ethan, but I still thought it was a Romulan ruse at that point. So I was...
A Rusulan.
Yes.
Romzulan.
But see, Riker's first tip-off that it was fake should have been the fact that it had been 16 years and they were wearing the same uniforms.
They had different badges.
They had different badges.
True.
That incorporated
The
their
rank. I like that.
Actually, I didn't care for it. I missed the pips.
Yeah, fair enough. But still, that's not enough of a change for Starfleet. They
That's
need
true.
to
They
do
change
major
very
overhauls
frequently.
every 10 minutes.
Also, though...
And
well,
everyone
except
only had
if-
streaks in their hair
I mean,
instead of actually
except
being older.
the movie uniform survived, surprisingly.
True, but even then, they first they dropped the turtleneck, then they got rid of the belt, and then they even got rid of the undershirt.
And they were just naked.
Yeah, that was a weird year.
Well, here's the thing.
They all should have just been dyeing their hair.
like-
Yes.
I can understand that if in a
Riker would
realistic...
have. He's vain. Sorry, Jay, go on.
I can understand in a realistic enough scenario that, he would buy it. But like, right away, there's questions that, from an outside perspective, are obvious. Like, oh, we're on the ship and, like, all of the, crew has pretty much stayed in the same jobs.
That's true.
Except for, like, Troy and...
Yeah, Troy and Picard, but, like,
I think the first tip-off should have been, why is Bev smiling like that?
Because Wesley's gone.
Yes.
They had an extra Klingon.
And actually, clearly they had
And a Ferengi ensign, or navigations person. I guess I don't know that they were an ensign, but I assume they were.
They were, yeah. He only had the one bar. At one point, I think Riker even says I could get used to an ensign Ferengi or something.
That's true, yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. It seems to me that this future was imperfect.
Yeah. Well, the technology didn't seem to have advanced much in 16 years.
But then again, this was all based on Riker's thoughts.
True.
So it's not like we've actually jumped 16 years. It's what Baylock's computer could sort out.
Yeah. It's just, it's funny that didn't make him wonder, though, Like,
But
gee,
then
I think we would have come further in 16
Well, he
years.
was busy worrying that he's lost all his memories.
Yeah.
And that takes a lot out of a person.
That his wife died, and now he has to put up with this kid he doesn't even know.
He has to reprogram Minuet. Jeez.
Yeah, again.
She keeps going off with that violinist.
Drinking Coco Onos.
I like that whoever did the hairstyling for this just decided all old women middle-aged women at least have the same stupid haircut.
Well, maybe that's just the style at the time. You don't know that.
I don't know. But
With
it's
the
just,
gray streak.
well, not but like both Bev and Troy had the weird like Mrs. Claus in the Rankin
Didn't
Bass
Ogawa have it
specials.
too?
I don't
Am
remember.
I crazy? I forget what.
I think hers was mostly just down.
It
Like
was-
the other
it was
women
kind
had
of
good
Mrs.
haircut.
Claus, though.
Yeah, that big like puffy like Victorian middle-aged haircut. It was like, really, this was all you could think up? Okay. Like if both of them didn't have it, it wouldn't have been as weird. But the fact they both had it,
I
was
guess
like,
I didn't really notice that Troy had it. I definitely noticed that Bev had it, though, and I was like, ooh.
It was a little less obvious with Troy because her hair was still down in the back.
Yeah.
But she saw the big poof in the front, whereas,
So she
Bev
had
had
the-
it all the way
She's
around.
got it backwards. She had the party in the front and the business in the back.
Sure.
Yep. Picard, I thought they did a good job with though.
Oh, he looked great.
He actually did look like maybe he was older and not just added some powder to his
Yeah,
hair.
his hair was a little longer.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they got
he's
it.
got
they're
that
like
sweet
really
goatee.
wispy. Like I felt like he looked like a human incarnation of like Scrooge McDuck with his like wispy little weird hairs for some reason. I don't know.
And the goatee suited him.
You did. It looked good.
And damn it, it's a shame it's imaginary because they finally hit on an admiral's uniform that doesn't suck.
It still
the
has
Admiral's
gold
uniform
shit on it.
Yeah, but it's
wasn't a
not
big
as bad.
fan.
Troy's was good. I liked what she was wearing too.
That's just normal uniform.
I know, but I liked the color. I don't feel like we've seen that color before. I feel like it was like gray blue, and I don't feel like I've seen any gray blue.
No, it's standard for science and medical staff.
And of course, Data looks exactly the same.
Yep, but
Except the red does not suit him.
Oh no, the red. I thought the same thing. Like with his skin tone or his fake skin tone, the red didn't look great on him. I wonder what blue would look like.
He's
on
more
him.
of an autumn.
So, one thing that stuck out to me about this show was that the setup and the
birthday party,
the cold open, the birthday party. Yeah, okay, I get it. It's just going to be a show about getting older, I guess,
like
in a way.
Star Trek 2.
But no, the whole setup. I think this episode would have been way better if they just started it like on the planet and the captain's log set us up for.
But then how would they have eaten that cake? Because this is important.
Well, they didn't get to eat the cake because Picard's like, "Oh, we got to check this thing out right now. Cancel the party."
And by the
your
way,
cake.
happy birthday.
Yeah, so I don't know. I felt like the whole setup of like in that shitty actor they got to say, "Captain, I've detected a fucking thing on the planet." Boy.
Yeah, no, he knew somebody.
Yeah, that guy probably won like a contest on the back of Fruit Loops cereal.
Something.
Win a role on Star Trek. 5 box tops and $20 shipping and handling.
It's a lot of shipping and handling.
Excuse me.
You have to ship yourself out to
That's what I was thinking, yeah.
out to the soundstage.
Maybe that's secretly the prize you get from Star Trek photon candies.
Somebody's got a golden photon. Yeah, instead of a large communicator pin, you
get a trip to Star Trek.
Yeah, I know we also commented that we didn't see O'Brien in the transporter room, and my joke was because in the future, Keiko has killed him.
Well, we haven't even met Keiko yet, but we did.
But we expect it. We always expect his wife will kill him.
But we did meet another recurring character this week, although I don't think we got her name. Nurse Ogawa, showed up in sickbay.
So here's my question: just because I happen to know that she's going to be a recurring character, is she younger when she's in the actual storylines?
No. So they did not age
her.
So
somehow Riker predicted that this woman would be on the show, but would stay young forever.
I think they hired her to be in this show, and we're like, well, she was good, and we have a uniform that fits her, so let's hire her back in the future.
You could also justify it as like to Riker, she's just kind of there. And the program couldn't be bothered to exert energy on anyone who wasn't significant to him.
Oh yeah, like he probably has never looked at her face.
Yeah.
He's only looked at them rack.
Well, it's like how in the Truman Show, he doesn't realize that he sees the same people every single day and doesn't think that's weird.
Shuffle them around.
She's just a background character in his life.
Well, I mean, normally she's like a 10-year-old girl for most of the show, so she's the character they bring in to replace Wesley as the annoying child genius.
Oh, can't wait for that.
Is that true?
No. It's not.
Oh, good, because I just got really sad.
No, I just can't, it's not that it doesn't make sense, it's just that it is a little... It's irrelevant, because she hadn't appeared on the show before, so why would you age up an actor that you never had on the show before? Because no one's looking at this episode being like, wait a minute, she should be older! Because she didn't exist.
No, that's when after having the whole season having been shown and they're watching reruns, they realize, wait a fucking minute.
But then again, we never got a name, so it could be like her younger sister, maybe.
There we go. It's
her
clone.
I was thinking that it might not even be the same character.
True.
But then again, the other one looks exactly the same and has the same job.
Like I said, clone.
Oh, okay.
Has all her memories and everything.
Yeah. Sure, why not?
I like that one of the main changes that Riker decided future Enterprise would have is just a bunch of...
racing stripes?
Yeah, just extraneous stripes. They make the turbo lift go faster.
Mm-hmm. Well, so you can tell that he actually probably still has a thing for Deanna because fake Deanna is a better empath than real Deanna.
And yet, still a terrible therapist, because she went along with Bev's idea to just be like, let's not warn him about his son. Maybe that will cause his brain to work.
Why is Troy stroking her beard thusly?
Yeah.
Why not?
But yeah, so Riker gets to have a kid all of a sudden.
Mm-hmm.
It's gotta be weird.
I loved the scene, though, when he's talking to her about it, and he's like, who's the mom? And you can see him being like, yeah.
Is it you? Did we finally hook up?
No, it was your holodeck girlfriend.
He's like, God damn it, what am I, Geordie?
All right.
That's what really pissed him off.
Yeah, if this kid who was, creating all these representations had kidnapped Geordie instead,
Oh, yeah.
what the fuck would he have read?
I like fake Tomalak throwing some shade at Riker for the holodeck girlfriend. Like, well, it seemed like it was really strong feelings. It was a very special program. Shut up!
I don't have a boner, you do. Runs away.
Oh.
Poor Riker.
But I did like that they, that was one of the, the thing that kind of pushed him over the edge and got him to realize it was seeing Minuet. And that
I wouldn't have recognized her.
Yeah, I didn't.
Well, no, but
He never forgets a pussy.
But it is nice that it's a nice bit of continuity with a previous
It was
episode.
nice continuity, is that what you
Yeah,
said?
that's right.
Nice.
I feel like that is not the first time that joke has been made.
What continuity?
Yeah.
What joke?
Awesome. Anyway, let's talk about Barash a little bit. This poor. I don't even know if he's technically a child or what in this alien race.
He has the mind of a child.
He's been stranded on this planet because he's been orphaned and stranded on this planet, where he just has a big toy that he can just play with forever and ever. But it's not the real thing, and that fact is probably driving him crazy.
Yeah. Yep.
And Riker just invites him onto the ship like it's an MBD.
Yeah, and he's used to living in a place where he just goes into this room and gets whatever he wants. He probably gets all the ice cream sundaes that Deanna never gets. And he gets...
That's why she never gets a fucking goddamn Sunday.
He gets to play
whatever... Because this kid keeps taking him.
Whatever character he wants in Overwatch, because no one's already all used up already.
Awesome.
Jake still hasn't been the fucking rodent.
I don't want to be the rodent.
I want to see you be the rodent, damn it.
I don't want to do that.
Yeah, but this kid, he's going to enter real life. He's going to be worse than Charlie X was.
Nah, he'll just immediately find the holodeck. And
yep.
Him and Barkley will be fighting each other for time.
Well, he's got really impressive technology. I sure hope that they went back to that planet and
Destroyed it?
took it all. Because,
They didn't.
Because, that's some, the brain scan that can, materialize whatever you want.
Yep.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, no, you think they'd want that, but
Whatever.
No.
The Riddler did that shit in Batman Forever. I'm not impressed.
Mm.
And that was 90s America. I'm just saying it wasn't 24th century space.
Also, the pseudo MacGuffin, I guess, of the episode is the location of Starbase 23.
Outpost
23. Ooh, boy. 23. We'll never hear about that one again.
Probably not.
Do we hear about it again?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay. That's because Riker kept it secret. He did his job.
Is 23 a prime number? Yeah, I think it is.
It is, yes.
Fuck if I know.
It's a low one. The low ones are easy to remember.
Yeah, well, I'm just, trying
No,
to...
it is. Most things that end in 3 that aren't, directly divisible by 3, I think, tend to be a lot. Isn't that right?
Mm.
Because it's 13, 23. 33 is not because of 11, but 43, for example, is. 53 is. 63 isn't because divisible. 73 is, so...
Interesting.
Not really.
Not at all.
Fascinating.
What was it you said about my tattoo I'm going to get? That's very unique. You asshole. I was laughing about that again the other day.
What tattoo was
I
it?
told you I was going to get a no-face tattoo,
Oh.
and you were like, oh, well, isn't that unique? And I was like, oh, jeez. Tough crowd.
Hey.
Aye.
I'm just not impressed by tattoos.
Oh, I thought you were going to say you weren't impressed by prime numbers.
I'm very impressed by
they're
numbers.
impressive.
I wasn't impressed by Space Boy's ultimate alien form.
I liked it.
I thought he was cute.
My thing is they were just
Costume.
do we want to just do generic gray alien? Yeah, okay.
No,
Let's make his eyes flash a
He
little
wasn't
low.
gray. He was kind of clay-toned.
Either way, he was the classic, big head, huge eyes, 50s
He looked
alien.
like a porg. You should have loved him.
He looked at all like a porg. Porgs are adorable.
He
Giant
was adorable.
eyes, little head.
All right. He was a gray. That's all. He had
He
weird,
wasn't
like-
gray.
gray.
He was terracotta.
He looked...
He had
He did have the spindly
Oh,
fingers.
yeah, he had E.T. fingers. That
And
shit was
whoever
creepy.
Well, I was thinking of
Whoever was acting
Data's
him-
pen pal.
Oh.
She had creepy long fingers,
Yeah,
too.
that's true. Whoever was playing the actor inside all that makeup, because I'm sure it wasn't the kid.
No.
Was having a whole lot of fun doodling those fingers.
They were.
I had fingers that long, I'd have fun doodling them too. It's a masturbation joke.
Yes, that.
They all are.
I like, again, you can't
Some
really...
of them are sex jokes, Ames.
You can't really count anything that happened in the simulation as being realistic, but
Right.
there like things did stick out to me. Like apparently the fake Romulans have like some kind of beam that can change your appearance and your clothes.
Oh yeah, that was weird.
Yeah, that was silly.
Like, what was that doing? I mean, again, it's in the fake world.
They'd already been saying it was like a holosuite.
Yeah, but the holodeck was already off.
Yeah.
At that point, but Riker still looked old and had the weird uniform, and then they
he just had some gray wisps and a different and like the pips are in his badge.
Yeah.
But then they and that turned him back to normal. So that was
some weird conglomo shit.
Yeah. Cool. I think that'd be kind of a cool thing to have, right? Like a.
It's like Sailor Moon's transformation pen, where she's like, "Make me a sexy journalist."
She always had unnecessary adjectives.
I think they were like always sexy.
Or some variant
that's
thereof,
it's
yeah.
Japan.
And she's 14, so...
Why are they always 14?
I mean, it's a show for kids who are 14.
Yeah.
You're more likely
But they're always
to...
like so sexed up.
Well, I mean, welcome to America where we dress 7-year-olds in fucking Vegas showgirl type shit and have them tart around with mascara on and all this shit.
Pageantry is a ancient and celebrated
Listen,
art.
the kids want to be there.
The kids want to be there.
I'm just saying, I feel like you can't over-sexualize children and then be like, what the fuck's up with pedophiles? It's like, well, you are dressing your child.
Blaming the victim? Is this what we're doing?
No, we're blaming the victim's parents.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that makes it okay.
Because they're monsters, and people who put their children
They were
in pageants should be
asking
arrested
for
and
it? Is that
thrown into the
the
Marianas
implication?
No, and I'm also not suggesting that, like, seeing a kid in, like, a skimpy outfit makes you a pedophile. I'm just saying that if you already have that kind of proclivity, it's not gonna discourage you.
Child pageants should be made illegal.
Yeah, they're disgusting.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they're horrible.
Just ask Captain Decker. Yeah.
Ooh. Yes.
Oh, I don't know if he was into child pageantry, but he was definitely into children. So
No, we don't.
Anyway,
I was also going to mention that our good friend Tomalak, whose actor's name is, I believe, Andreas Katsoulas.
I liked him better as a giant head.
That's what he preferred too. Like, he really hated, like, actually being in the room because it meant he had to act and he had to be directed.
He's also not as intimidating.
And apparently,
Sorry,
like,
when
he
you
just...
say a giant head, do you mean
Yeah,
he's on the
a
view
screen?
Yeah, because whenever they
Okay,
show
I
him,
thought
it's
you
usually
meant-
really close up.
I thought you meant the giant head in space, and I was like, what? That's
No.
the same guy?
No, every time we've seen Tomalak now, and
he's
I think
been on a view screen.
I
In the
think when we
future?
see him again, we won't see him for a while, but when we see him again, he's also a
That's
big
right,
head.
because he was the one tracking down the traitor guy in that one, right?
He was both. No, he was the guy that was.
The answer is yes, Caitlin. Jake is dithering about
Thank
it.
you, Ames.
Oh, I think traitor. You said traitor. I thought you were traitor, like Kivas
Yeah,
Fajo.
no, traitor.
Traitor.
Yeah, he was in the Defector.
Yes, he was in the Defector, but he was also at the Galorndon Corps.
Right, I remember that too. He's the one who's like, what did you do with our dude? And he's like, dude, we saved him. Shut up.
Mm-hmm.
That
Get
one,
fit.
right?
Yeah. You like him better as a big head too, Jake?
I think so, because I don't know, I just didn't find him as intimidating. And I guess also because, again, it's in fake world, so...
You could see more of how the sleeves worked, and for some reason, just watching how... Because they're just...
Way too much sleeve.
They come from the boxy shoulder, so they can just hang straight down, which means by the time you're at the bottom, they're just big swaths of fabric that looked like those things they put out in front of a car dealership.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, the, what are those things called?
What are they called?
Sock. It's a...
I never knew their formal name.
They call them sock something, I think.
I'll
Yeah,
look it
you'd
up.
think-
Crazy...
you'd think
something,
Romulans-
Sock something.
Would have a dress code that doesn't allow giant sleeves, where you could easily hide weapons, because all Romulans do is
Hide weapons and
well,
their
like
big
is
sleeves.
deal in deceit and skullduggery.
Do they deceive each other a lot?
Oh goodness, yes.
All I know about Romulans is they're back. That's all I know.
They're getting pretty good at being back now that we've seen some more of them. So I'm
Other than
actually
Imperfect.
liking them better lately. So
According to Wikipedia, the thing you're thinking of is called a tube man,
Tube man.
also known as a sky dancer, air dancer, and originally called the tall boy.
Isn't that a beer?
yeah, Tall Boy is just a bottle of beer, but I like Tube Man.
Sounds like a really shitty Mega Man villain.
Just Just shoots a little
They're
worm.
banned in Houston.
Yeah, well, Texas bans evolution, so what the fuck do they know?
Anyway, let's move on and get rid of Wesley because he's already given his sweaters to the kid from the holograms.
So, this fucking episode, man.
Final mission?
What a...
Wesley's being all shitty to, like, Guy Face, and you expect Picard's gonna go like, now, Wes. But even Picard is like, oh, this is a terrible ship.
Well,
oh, you are a dick.
Wesley starts off being 10 minutes late when he was summoned to the bridge so that Picard could...
20
I was
20 minutes
working
late.
on a very important experiment.
You say that every day. Masturbating isn't an experiment.
The chemicals were volatile.
I was experimenting with Blaylock.
I mean, being fair, he was working with... I mean, he does constantly get access to dangerous shit. He probably did have to lock it down.
Yeah, he probably was fucking around with nanites again.
Yeah, I
This
was
little son of a
getting
bitch.
nanites up my bum.
He's not going to make a good impression at the Academy, is what I'm saying.
He's not going to make a good impression at the Academy with nanites up his...
Well, they're not going to give
Urethra.
him such free access to dangerous equipment at the Academy.
Oh, I hope not.
Just shuttles.
I don't know. He's going to be friends with the groundskeeper. He might have access to some shit.
If I was Picard, I would have fucked with Wesley a lot more before that. I would have been like, Wesley,
Picard was
this
near
is the
death.
last time you're when he called to the bridge, I'd be like, last time you're late, you are fired from ensign. Give me that ensign machine. Strip you off that uniform. You have not earned it.
Crawl in the finny tube.
Yes, and then be like, and the reason I don't need you is because you're going to school.
He's like literally crying, like tears streaming down his face. What?
We are sending you there via torpedo, though.
Bye.
Like, why was it ever really explained in the show why they had to take this rinky-dink shitty shuttle to the thing and not...
Sake of the plot.
Because, I was going to say, because otherwise
that
they
was
wouldn't
unclear.
crash and have an
Did,
I
episode.
know,
did
but,
Durgo
like-
insist or something?
Nope, they just...
Like,
They
I'm here to
just
pick
did.
you up. Like, doesn't the Enterprise have shuttles?
Nope.
Only when it's
Well,
convenient
plus-
to the plot.
There was no reason for the Enterprise to not be just... Because this was before the Scow showed up.
Yeah.
Like, there was no reason beforehand they couldn't... Sorry. They couldn't have just brought him there direct at first.
This was before we knew about the Scow?
Yeah, the Scow showed up, like, right after they left.
Okay. See, I was also wondering regarding the Scow.
No, it
Or
did,
not.
but they did get they got the distress call before.
True, but by then they'd already, like Shuttle Guy was already
Oh, yeah,
there.
yeah.
Like, there was no reason for him to already be there.
Yes.
Here's my suggestion. Separate the saucer. Let the warp drive section deal with the fucking, Scow that's leaking radiation. Let the saucer section go look for Picard when he loses his
That would have
himself.
solved a lot of problems because then also you're not exposing everybody in the saucer
Exactly.
to the radiation.
Leave data
Okay, but
on the
I
warp
hate
section.
I hate to say this, but there's a reason that doesn't work.
Why?
The saucer couldn't have gotten back to the system on its own. It doesn't
Why?
have warp capability.
It has impulse. Well, if they separate when it's going fast enough and it just uses its current speed, it'll just go up for a while.
Well, they actually said in an episode recently that apparently the warp bubble is such that the saucer can maintain warp for about 2 minutes after separation.
Still, that'll get you pretty far away.
Yeah, but probably not far enough.
Either way, it's super dumb.
Yeah, I mean, that whole thing was, again, just as always,
Yeah.
it's one of these B plots. It's a contrivance
Yeah.
to
So even if you're
keep
not
the ship away.
if you're not sending the saucer section to go deal with the Picard thing, you can still just have one part of the ship so that not everyone is
put
getting
a
radioactive.
skeleton crew over on
Just Data.
Yeah.
Just Data is fine.
I don't know if Data can run the whole ship.
I would trust Data to run the whole ship.
maybe if he plugs his dick into one of the interfaces, he can
But you
control
know-
it that way.
Turn it
You
into
know
an
how
instance of
expensive
command.
it is to shoot a saucer separation?
Don't they just reuse it?
They reuse some of it, but I feel like... I don't know. And plus they'd have to rebuild the battle bridge set. No one wants to do that. Meh. I don't know. But yeah, you're right. I mean, that obviously was the answer that they chose not to do.
Yeah, but see, well, you separate, you send data, and I'm sure somewhere on the crew there's at least a few species that are there who are like, radiation? I literally shower in it every day. Fuck yes. You know, I'm sure Klingons are less susceptible because they're so fucking sturdy.
I don't know about that, but Vulcans definitely are.
Yeah, there's a couple of Vulcans around.
Yeah, I'm just saying, I mean, Kirk and company managed to run the fucking...
That's
original
true.
Enterprise with like 3 people. There was some throwaway line about Scotty having to set a lot of stuff to automate, but this is, 100 years later. That kind of automation bullshit's probably already built in. You probably could handle the engineering section with
last
5
week,
people.
Picard and Crusher ran the whole ship themselves.
That's true.
They never needed anybody else.
No.
Duh. I actually I enjoy the Scotty references because, of course, we got the garbage scow reference, which I have to assume was chosen because of Trouble with Tribbles.
Maybe, I hadn't thought of that.
I thought it should be hauled away as garbage.
And I also kind of felt like Wesley's plan to save the day was very Scotty too, in a way. Like, I'm gonna use this piece from my badge, and I'm gonna put it into my tricorder. And I feel like didn't Geordi too had some Scotty type shit, didn't he?
I mean, jury rigging often saves the day in Star Trek.
No, I know. I just felt like there was a lot of it, and I maybe only feel that way because of the garbage scow line. But
now, okay. So this was an obviously half-baked plot because
Which one?
I'm sorry, half-baked? Are you sure it was even half-baked?
It was mostly radioactive, so it didn't need to be baked.
Everything's bad. They never even talk about or question where it came from, as far as I know.
They don't.
It's it just showed up.
It's there.
Why would you don't think perhaps it's worth asking why somebody would have tried to poison this entire planet?
Well, maybe they weren't. Maybe it was an accident.
Yeah, they said something about getting caught by their gravity. It was just somebody basically said, fuck it, we're sticking all our garbage on a rocket. It's like that episode of Futurama. Except instead of coming back around to their own planet, it found somebody else's.
And then, all of the, so we've dealt with a very similar situation with the booby trap, where we had the radiation slowly killing them, and they held out a fairly long time against that. What's wrong?
That was less
It's a different kind of radiation.
Yeah, there we go.
I don't know. It just seems ridiculous that the ship has not the shielding to deal with this.
Yeah, that is kind of weird.
Shielding.
You're in space. There's a lot of weird
energy
out there that you should be able to deal with.
Yeah, I don't know. And then there just happens. There's an asteroid field that we have to make it through.
Yeah, I've already complained that they never have realistic asteroid fields in television.
Well, yeah, it's not in okay, then fly around it.
Or go,
Is it an
up? Go.
That's what I'm saying.
Sorry,
well, no.
relative.
Is it an asteroid shell?
They specifically want the garbage scow to go into the sun so that it will not.
I know.
Yeah, but still, just do
if there's a
parabola.
If there's an asteroid field, say, between you and your sun, you're in space. You can fly above it or below it or to either side of it.
Well, the thing with that is going through the asteroid field is going to take the least amount of time, and because they specifically have to tow it, they don't want to be in its vicinity for. They want to deal with it for as little time as possible so that they don't end up with spider powers.
You still think they would have just in reality, it's space. They're all they've got data, they've got supercomputers, they've got geniuses on board.
No, their resident genius was stuck in a cave.
They probably could have figured out a way to just
Durgo.
Even now, when we send shit into space, we use all this crazy shit of slingshotting things in gravity wells and blah, blah, blah. You're telling me they couldn't have just thrown this thing with the tractor beam in just the right way, that it could have
weird tractor beam shot put.
Well, in previous episode, they almost saved an entire planet of asshole mouth people.
Yeah,
but by changing the gravitational constant of an asteroid. It didn't work, but that was because it was an asteroid. It better work fine on the garbage scow. Just make the thing weigh.
Well, no, we don't know. It might have worked. They
2 pounds.
They got interrupted by those aliens that wanted to murder Q.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But it might have worked.
Yeah,
we don't know.
Yeah,
and it didn't matter because we never found out because Q just fixed it. But
I mean, we see a lot of these plots where it's the B plot exists solely to keep the main ship separate from a different part of space.
Yeah, there could have been any other thing keeping them from getting to Picard immediately.
Yeah, some of them
good game of 3D chess.
And
and some are done well, some are
this episode?
Yeah.
They even brought up Samaritan Snare, where Wesley and Picard went on their last adventure together to get
Wesley mentioned it.
Picard a new ticker. And that was a similar thing, right? Because, you get these two guys off, and then the ship ends up in this terrible scenario.
They have to be saved by Pulaski.
Yep.
Man,
I
miss
wish.
Pulaski. Where is she? When's Mummy coming home?
She probably made a copy of Moriarty and getting fucked by him constantly in the holodeck wherever she is now.
Stuffed with crumpets.
It's a very long and throbbing crumpet you have there.
Professor.
Long and throbbing. I feel like you should get that looked into.
Oof. But yeah, let's.
I'm not a doctor, but I'll have a look. Wait, I am a doctor. Well, I'll still have a look.
With my vagina.
I was going to say mouth, but yes.
I wonder how
both of those
violent
things.
people get on the holodeck with their sexual...
Anyway.
You ever seen a play called The Nether? Probably at least that violent.
chopping off
Nice.
dicks, things like that.
Well, that's what I do normally. What do you do after
That's
sex?
true.
Ings, you were going to say something. Please
Yeah,
do.
let's actually talk about Wesley and Picard in the cave, because every couple of sentences, I was like, if they're not going for Picard is actually Wesley's father,
Oh my god.
then they're
I have
leading up
something
to
I need
nothing.
to tell you, and you don't know, because I haven't told anybody.
I am proud of you, my son.
What did you say?
There's even a line Picard says, Wesley, it's all my fault you're here. Because I'm your dad! God damn it, can I finally say it? Bev won't let me. I don't know why. You should be proud. Your dad was a jerk and I got him killed.
I feel like
It's all my
I feel
fault
like
you're here.
the
I should have sent
like,
you away long ago.
This must have been a fan theory at the time, and the creators were just
You think it
fucking
was?
with
With
people
everyone, yeah.
by like doing.
But how did
this.
fans know what the fan theories were back in the dark ages before the interwebs?
There was
Usenet?
They had to put up
What was
signs
Usenet?
on
Was
the
Usenet
side
basically
of
like
buildings.
email-ish?
It was similar to email, but it was like if email
Like message board
email
emails.
fucked a message board. That's basically what it is.
Nice. That sounds really sexy.
Yeah.
Oh, there was one point where Picard was kind of like out of it, and he was mumbling a song to himself. Was that the song him and Robert were singing when they were shit-faced?
Oh, I think it may have been.
It sounded like it.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
Yeah.
Whatever the fuck that song is.
Yeah. Sorry, it's real bad.
Another
They
nice
forget-
piece
they-
of
there's no-
continuity.
There's no actual French. They don't actually know French, so they just replaced all the words with bum 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 bum.
Well, you know, French is a dead language.
Exactly.
I know.
No, but there was a while because Picard was not doing well for a while
No,
there.
no.
And because of how serious the conversation was getting between him and Wesley, I was actually thinking, like, if the show actually had to kill Picard off for some reason, this is how they'd do it.
Yeah.
They do it with a really, really sweet, him dying monologue to Wesley, of all
Yeah,
people.
yeah.
And just leave it as, like, a beautiful character piece for Patrick Stewart.
Yeah.
They didn't, obviously, which is better for us, but...
Well, especially, too, with a title like Final Mission, people must have been scared, because they must have been like, holy shit.
They might have been thinking like, oh man, him surviving Best of Both Worlds was a fake out. This is where he leaves the show.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I would definitely have been really fucking freaking out watching this live, I'll say.
Yeah.
But I loved it, and I loved their moments together, and even though I really, I still don't... Wesley grew on me, because Wesley has not been as bad as Wesley was in Season 1 by a long shot, but, like, I just was not ready to, like, care as much about this as I did.
I think that is owed a lot to Patrick Stewart's acting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I really do think that
Like this
and that
episode
really is the
But
only
even
good parts
Wesley,
of this
I thought,
episode.
was doing some good acting.
No, he was. But
That's what I mean. Like, he was really bringing it, too. Like, I'm not a...
A really good actor can elevate the performance of a not very good actor.
Sure, yeah.
And
So
I
really, this is all Turgo's doing.
Yes.
He was such a cock munch, though. I'm really glad that
See-
Wesley was a little jerk to him, because he
Well,
was such a douche.
That's the annoying thing, though. Is like I wouldn't have minded if they were shitty to him after it was revealed he was a dickhead.
Yeah, it feels kind of classist otherwise.
Yeah, like from the off, they're both like you said, even Picard. Like he's not as blatant
nice
about it.
shitty ship.
But it's like, wow, Picard, dude, asshole.
What do you mean you don't have months and months of emergency supplies?
In your fucking shoebox of a ship.
Earl Grey. They find Picard hours later smashing his hands into the broken rubber. Like, Earl Grey heart!
He gets to the cave, he sees the water fountain, he's like, it's not tea. I'll abstain.
Oh, water? No, never drink the stuff.
Fish,
fucking
fucking
it.
He goes mad, just draws himself a new Livingston on the wall and starts talking to it.
God.
In a little hat.
What was wrong with that water fountain? Why was it blue?
It was like a water fountain at a mall complex.
Yeah.
It was like a water fountain that was populated by the toilet water, the ones that has that blue thing in it.
Yeah, yeah.
The one that keeps it clean, allegedly, but mostly just makes it poisonous to your pets.
Yeah, it was literally just the toilet of that space ghost.
Yeah, like it's never again like stupid
Was he a
half-baked
scrubbing
shit. Like
bubble
it's
ghost?
never explained what the creature is that's
Who set it up?
It's like it's security program.
Yeah,
or
but
something,
why?
Right?
Who's
Protect the
protecting
water.
this water?
Who's drinking the water? Someone that was probably dying of thirst before they found that water.
Well, they were alluding to there could be life forms in them thar hills, which I said, good, go eat them. You're gonna starve. Really, they should have just eaten Durgo, but whatever.
Well, he was all, he got fucking
crystallized or whatever.
freeze
Why did
dried.
anybody I feel
Freeze
like
dried is good. Just all you gotta do is boil him for a while to reconstitute and add
But they didn't
moisture
have
back.
water!
Son of a bitch. You don't think they could have
Phaser,
gone
you treat him like a Sulu rock and just go at it.
Oh yeah, we saw the Sulu
or-
maneuver
yeah.
again.
I feel like in any other episode there would have been a whole thing about, oh well, there's a force field, there must be a power source. We have to track down the power source. But that wasn't even entertaining. Just shoot the fucking thing.
We need the liquid.
Well, it's because
And
Durgo's an idiot. But
Yeah, but
Wesley should have known better.
Well, it felt to me like he was solving like a Zelda puzzle.
Mm.
And then that would explain the water, because apparently without the water, Picard's defo gonna die, but if we can get him some water, he might have a chance. So the reality is that was a fucking fairy fountain, and
It was like the cup in the Last Crusade.
Or that. Now I just imagine when the force field came down, it should have made that do-do-do-do-do-do, like when you solve a puzzle.
and when he fills his hand with the water.
Or that.
Now,
Look at the sound of the hearts refilling.
Yeah. Yep.
Also,
Nerds.
this episode I felt was notable for having a lot of weird techno babble, between the shit that Geordi was spewing about on the bridge about the garbage scow, and then Wesley. Well, it's 14 millihertz over here and 22 kilohertz over there.
Then it jumps to 40.
It's as you approach the.
Yeah, they had to insert a lot of filler, it seemed.
Yeah.
Picard could only slowly die so long.
And what was the deal with
Airline food?
What's the deal? What was the deal with the music this week? Did anyone else notice how weird and out of place the soundtrack was?
Most of it I didn't until, I did say at the very end when Wesley was figuring out the fountain, the music got way too, big and triumphal, and it was like, okay, scale it the fuck back.
No, when the ship was crashing, it was like someone downloaded the public domain versions of Star Wars music.
Oh, I
and
hadn't noticed.
Plugged it into Star Trek for some reason.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it, because again, at the end it got a bit much.
Oh, yeah. I feel like they must have had a different composer on this week, because all the music felt really out of place.
Maybe William Riker did all the... Not William Riker, but the actor. Maybe he did all the...
Jonathan Frakes on his trombone.
Tromboning?
I don't think
we
Frakes
didn't
even
talk
plays.
about
I
his
don't think
tromboner.
Frakes even plays the trombone.
No, we actually talked about it a few weeks ago.
Oh, did we? Is
the
that
guy
where I heard that? From here? From
the
us?
guy that overdubbed his tromboning recently passed away.
Ah, that's right.
And I was sad, because I had thought until that moment that
He was already
Frakes
dead.
played the trombone.
No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, how hard would it have been to do the 5 notes he played in this?
Well, it's not just the positioning of the hand. It's lung capacity, blowing the right way. I mean, these people
It's
don't
like a
have...
trumpet, right? You have to do
that lip thing?
certain things with your lips.
You do, yeah.
To change the tone.
Yeah, and it's also, yes, I'm sure Jonathan Frakes could make the noises, but I'm sure he couldn't make the noises in a way that would show that his character is good at making the noises.
Yeah.
Or at least has done it before.
Frakes tried it once and just shit himself.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's the thing. It's a lung capacity thing. It's a muscle thing. There's a lot to it, and I just feel like you're filming a television episode. You have a certain number of days.
Yeah.
You're really gonna waste the time learning
Bill
fucking...
Clinton pretended to know how to play the sax.
Wow.
Did he not?
I don't remember.
Yeah, I think he did.
I vaguely remember.
He did actually know how to... That was a whole big thing. He's the cool president.
Yeah,
Because
he
he
played the
plays the
saxophone.
sax.
And gets his cock sucked.
The sax is the sexiest saxophone.
The saxiest.
The saxiest.
The saxiest brass instrument.
It's not brass, it's woodwind.
Excuse me.
It is?
It has a reed.
Oh,
Yes.
good
Like
point.
a clarinet.
I should know that, because it comes up in The Simpsons.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Idiot.
Anyway, we finally gotten rid of Wesley so that Will Wheaton can go pursue feature films. I wonder how he did.
He was on no feature films, to my knowledge.
Yeah, he had done Stand By Me before this.
Yes.
I always forget he was in Stand
Let's do a little checkup on
Now he plays
Good old-
board games for a living.
good old
Which
Will
actually,
Wheaton.
I wouldn't mind doing myself.
I would love to play board games for a living. Are you kidding me? He's
That's
living
pretty
the
sweet.
fucking dream.
Yeah, no, he's actually he's found his place in the
His
world.
niche.
Seems to be doing pretty all right for himself.
I mean, I know he's either playing a parody of himself or...
Hey, whatever. If someone wanted to pay me to be a parody of myself, as long as they're paying me, that's fucking fine.
I get that, but I want to see how... I want to see
on the Irish accent 24/7.
How his IMDb looks around the time he left this show.
Oh, yeah. It took him a few years to, I think.
But he did about as good as... What's her name? Tasha Yar, after the fact.
Let's see.
He probably did a little better.
No, I was going to say, he's actually... Yeah, I mean, ultimately, he has done better, but...
Alright, so
probably...
he was in... Am I saying elsewhere? Okay, I'm still in the 80s.
Can I ask a question while you look?
Yes.
Please.
Does Picard ever actually say, "Shut up, Wesley"?
He did in that one episode.
Yeah.
Is it only that one time?
I think so.
But Bev
and
also
everyone
said, "Shut up, Wesley."
fucking latched onto this?
Yes.
I've
Because
still
it
latched
happens
on
twice?
Yeah.
That's...
Look.
I felt like it was going to be a catchphrase. I thought it was going to be like every week, "Shut up, Wesley."
Here's the thing.
Like, make it so.
People latch on to stupid shit. I saw a thing recently.
Make it so.
Never seen this movie.
I actually thought that because they said let it go for the scow. But people just latch on to things and mindlessly go with it. You've got, to this day, apparently if you go by IMDb individual episode ratings, Shades of Grey is still the worst episode of any Star Trek
By a
ever.
lot.
Which one is Shades of Grey again?
The clip
That's
show.
The clip show.
Oh, but that's...
And
It's bad. It's not worse than others.
Yeah, no, it's not worse than, say, Code of Honor or Threshold, which we'll get to in a couple of years.
You know what? It's probably definitely not worse than that non-Star Trek episode at the end of season 2.
Oh god, of TOS.
Of TOS.
Yeah. That's worse. People just they automatically go online and give it a bad rating because they've heard it's bad. And yeah, it's not good, but Star Trek has done worse.
Okay, here's the thing. Can we talk about this concept for 1 second? And I'll tell you why. So earlier today I was maybe it was yesterday, I was chatting with some people on, in a chat group. And someone was shared a piece of pizza, and I was like, "Ooh, that looks good." And then someone was like, "I need to send you a picture of the New York pizza so you can see what it's supposed to look like." And
that's just being a dickhead.
No, but I actually started into this whole thing where I was like, I get so sick of people pretending your pizza is the be all and end all. The same way people in New York are don't put ketchup on hot dogs. First of all, pizza is literally bread with sauce and cheese. Hot dogs are basically literally assholes. It's not something to get fucking really super high and mighty about. But also, I feel like people's default response to pizza is, "Oh, you gotta get New York pizza." I've had pizza in New York. It's pizza. It's fine. And then I said that I thought that pizza, New York pizza, and people's opinions of it are the culinary equivalent of 1984. You know the touchstones and the things you're supposed to say about it, but you probably have never experienced it or have never had a unique thought about it.
I once ate at a Papa John's in New York City.
It was the best fucking pizza I ever had, Kev.
They gave a little thing of garlic sauce.
Garlic sauce. But that's how I feel about this sort of thing, too. It's just
Yeah, again,
people
literally,
know the things they're supposed to dislike.
The internet...
Yeah.
And they dislike them.
And they dislike them. It's so annoying.
The internet somehow thinks Shades of Grey is worse than Threshold, which is an episode of the show that basically the writers have since disavowed.
Wow,
Shades of Grey is objectively worse than Threshold.
Really?
Absolutely.
How? Which one is Threshold?
Threshold has a dumb premise, I would say.
And dumb everything.
It is not a terrible episode. I mean, it's not a good episode.
How many years until we get to this?
It's in Voyager.
Okay, but I think... But alright, but going back then at the very least, it's still not as bad as fucking Gary 7 there.
Wait,
hell, it's not even as bad as
Shades of Grey is a clip show. I don't think people dislike it because it was a bad episode. I think they dislike it because it was a clip show, which I think is a valid thing to say.
Yeah, but to say it's as bad as all that is ridiculous.
I don't know, I hate clip shows. I think they're a waste. If I wanted to fucking have a clip show, I would just rewatch.
Yeah, but I mean...
Especially in a show where it's not even there's no arc to it yet.
Yeah, I know, but I just mean
You guys regretting not putting it in your bottom threes now?
No.
No, I regret nothing. I didn't watch it.
Yeah, we just fast forwarded to the bits that weren't clips.
Yeah, and the non-clip bits were not horrible, but it wasn't awful. It wasn't great.
But I would say that I think I find the opposite phenomenon too, though. The episode, especially with the original series, episodes that are the classics.
Be on the other edge of forever kind of episodes.
Well, no.
Well, that's actually
a good one.
That's a great
But like,
episode.
there's definitely like Let That Be Your Last Battlefield.
Oh, that's
is
terrible.
one that everyone remembers.
Yeah, it
It's
sucks.
like a big, the black and white. Oh, yeah. Like, every time you see anything talking about the cultural significance of Star Trek,
There's a
like,
picture
there's a
of-
picture of those guys. Like,
Yeah.
look, they tackled race.
And meanwhile, we all personally quite liked. I don't know if you did, but I know me, Ames, and Caitlin quite liked. For the World is Hollow and a Touch of the Sky.
that.
But the general opinion of it apparently is that it's middling at best.
No, the people are wrong. That's a
Yeah.
great episode. But that's because general opinion is that season 3 is trash.
True.
So people probably don't even go into it. It's almost like
Well, Let That Be
it's
Your
like-
Last Battlefield season 3 too, though.
well, yeah, but I'm just saying that like they made it sound like all of season 3 was going to be garbage, and I think that all of us had
Episodes
at least
we quite
one
liked.
episode from season 3 in our top
Yeah.
whatever list, and in fact, I think I had like 2. I feel like because I love Gem was one of my favorites too.
Bam.
Yeah, that is the one thing. This chart I was looking at did not include TAS at all.
Ah.
So it's like, oh, okay, you're just cheating.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
no.
anytime I see a best and worst episodes thing, though, I always disagree with it emphatically.
Well, of course, everyone does. It's completely subjective.
Yeah.
You
I mean,
know,
there
some
are
people
some, I
probably
think-
thought Bem was fucking adorable. Someone out there loved Bem. Like there is
Yeah.
literally someone out there for everyone.
They're 2 years old.
Somebody's
means there's somebody out there for
cosplay
Bem.
is Bem.
Hey, listener, are you someone that loves Bem? Don't tell us. We don't want to know. Unsubscribe.
Yeah, you
Yikes.
need to keep that shit at home under a blanket,
Seriously.
deep dark at night.
Yeah, no,
Like
that is something
Bem.
to be ashamed
never,
of.
never see the light of day.
But also,
No,
like,
we're just kidding.
Like, I
if you
don't
like
think.
Bem, that's fine. You got enough bad shit going on. If that's
And we addressed this a lot when we talked about the episodes, but I also think that, like, Spock's Brain, not a good episode.
No.
Not the worst episode.
No.
brain. What is brain?
Exactly.
Yeah, no, I was almost disappointed by how...
Not horrible it was.
Yeah,
It was,
built
like,
up for me
mediocre,
for
but
so
it
long.
wasn't-
But yeah, it wasn't amazingly, beautifully, transcendentally bad. It was just...
Yeah.
Eh,
Let That Be Your Last Battlefield is a
Ugh.
worse episode
that is
than,
so
than
fucking
Spock's
bad.
Brain.
Yeah,
Do you-
definitely.
Are you guys, Jake and Ames? Are you guys like following or have you liked Star Trek shit posting?
No.
There was this great post the other day, and it was a picture of
Is that the thing you're always
Sharing, yeah.
And it's just too much content. That
Oh,
I couldn't possibly.
I love it. Now I'm hooked. But they shared it recently. A picture of Frank Gorshin and the other guy from that stupid
Beale and Loci?
Your Last Battle, whatever. And it said the meme said, "I miss when Star Trek was more subtle about its politics or something because people always bitch about
Yeah, Modern Trek.
and it's like yeah."
Oh, that was that and a bunch of other of their overtly political episodes. But yeah, that was one of them.
We've talked about a lot of really political episodes.
Well, and that's what I actually said. Like, I actually replied and was like, it's always been political. And, like, as a newcomer to TNG, like, I've really appreciated a lot of the ways that they've tackled a lot of the issues. Because we talked about...
It's what sci-fi is for.
Yeah.
It's specifically what sci-fi is for.
And that's why I think...
But
'cause
SJWs are in my Star Trek, and there's a black lady, and there's a gay man. Oh, jeez.
well, there were 2 gay men, but they killed one of them off.
He's coming back.
I assume it's going to be flashbacks or something.
That's the sound of diaper boys, like, filling their diapers. That was great, Jake. Thank you.
Well,
That's the soundtrack of our summer
I
right
haven't
there.
given Jake the cards, so he doesn't know what to
I don't know what to
wrap up the
say.
episode.
Jake us the fuck out of here, please.
Well, I think that's all we have to say about these 2 episodes. Seems like it was a bit of a mixed bag, but mostly...
yeah.
Good Picard.
Yeah.
Good Picard.
Good
Very
Riker.
good
I'll give
Picard.
Riker some credit
Yeah,
because you
sure.
don't see him carrying a show an awful
Good
lot.
Worf Scar. We didn't really bring
The
that
good
up.
Scar.
Good Scar, yeah.
Geordie's eyes.
Geordie had
I'm
eyes.
glad to see LeVar Burton. He's so pretty.
Yeah, he's got some nice eyes. If only...
He's got pretty
If
fucking
only,
eyes.
if
do it for
only
you.
Leah Brahms could see his eyes.
Well, that's what Worf asked him the other week.
Looking
didn't he?
at her through her windows.
No.
From
Yeah, well.
outside in the hedges. Oh god.
That's the thing of wearing a visor. It's like wearing sunglasses. Nobody can see what you're looking at.
Yikes.
Anywho,
Well, from now on, I'm just going to live assuming that Geordie is always looking at tits.
of course he is.
I mean, always. I bet he can even pull up tits on his visor while he's supposed to be working. He's like, yes, Captain, that's very interesting. Yeah, I'll get right on it. He's looking at tits.
When Geordi's and by contrast, like when he is trying to look at tits, no one can tell. So like he's having sex with a lady, and she's like, "Hey, buddy, my tits are down here."
And he's like, "Ugh!" And he comes too fast because it's Geordi.
Yeah.
Anyway.
No, but what I was just going to say is it's like his visor's like Google Glass. So, like, it's got that sort of projecting things onto stuff. So, he's looking at Picard, but there's a naked lady, like, sprawled out on top of Picard's bald head.
No, it's Picard. He just has huge wobbly tits.
Nice.
Wobbly! Why are they wobbly?
But I feel like we're getting close to that now with, like, Snapchat filters.
That's
and
true.
Stuff.
Yeah.
Like you're going to be able to put tits on anything in the next 2 years.
I can't wait. The future is great.
Take a picture of your cat. Its eyes are tits.
Yep.
Yikes.
Take a picture of your tits. They've got tits. 2 tits on each tit.
Anyway,
Tit for tat.
these are some really creative ideas, folks.
For tits.
For just anything. So I think next week, instead of doing 2 episodes of Star Trek The Next Generation, we should just get our creative juices flowing and other juices flowing. Why not? Let's make it a real big juice fest.
Amazing segue.
I don't know where
that means
this
we have
is
to
going.
keep all that. Damn it!
Yep. That's the goal. So yeah, anyway, if you guys remember, some weeks back, we did a thing where we drew some names out of a hat, or drew some Star Wars, Star Trek. We're doing some crossover, fanfic, / We're going to have fisting, fighting, fornicating.
Hey, have you been looking at my fanfic?
Well, no, because you haven't written it yet, because it's on an hour before recording.
Shh! Don't ruin my joke.
Who has the prequels?
I have prequels and TNG.
So Kit
You have
Fisto's
TOS.
definitely involved.
Kit Fisto is the star.
Jake, you have TOS. Don't think you have TNG.
I thought
No, I have TOS. I have TOS and...
Yeah, 2 of us have TOS, 2 of us have TNG. Me and Ames got
I
TNG.
forgot. Sorry, I forgot.
I don't know. How would I know?
Yeah, we didn't do the...
I have TOS. Fuck it.
Yeah.
I'm writing on TNG anyway. So
Wait,
anyway.
why?
Because I already wrote it and it has TNG
Did you already
characters.
write it?
Nobody reminded me.
Did
that
you
I
really
did.
already write it?
No. Of course I did. It's airing next week.
Oh, yeah, sorry, I forgot.
I'm glad the listeners can't see that wink.
Yeah.
Damn it!
Now we have
Anyway.
to keep all that in.
That's great. So yeah, so be sure to either tune in next week or completely avoid us as we do our next 10 forward about Star Wars meets Star Trek in various ways.
It's gonna be bitchin'.
It's going to be great. And then the following week, you'll be back to our regularly scheduled program in which we'll cover Data's Day and The Loss in reverse order.
Yeah.
The Loss and Data's Day. But that's in 2 weeks, folks. So sit tight. Come back next week. Grab some popcorn. Grab your honey.
Grab a vibrator.
Grab
Honey
a vibrator. Sit on a
Dick.
Do what you gotta do, folks, because it's gonna get hot and heavy on A Star to Steer Her By. And if you want that and other stuff, be sure to check out our Star Trek page
I love when Chris just shakes his head when you talk.
on Tumblr and Twitter at SSHB Podcast. You can also find us on Facebook. Go to Facebook and search for A Star to Steer Her By at Facebook.com/Facebook. And then you can listen to our podcast on SoundCloud and on iTunes.tunes.com. Hi, Tom. TomTom.
Ooh.
We've discussed
And
Tom.
Tom's shoes, every time you buy a pair of Tom's.
Are we on Sirius
That's supposed to be
XM
terrible for
satellite
the
radio?
I hope so.
We might be on that. I don't know.
I doubt it.
If you're listening to us on a Sirius satellite radio XM, let us know. 'Cause
Yeah.
we don't know if we're on that. But we are on Google iTunes and SoundCloud. So find us next week for The Star to Steer Her By. This has been Jake.
This has been Chris.
This has been Ames.
And this is always Caitlin.
Peace and long life.
Okay.
Sure.
Do you remember Wilmer Valderrama's game show? Yo Mama?
No.
Wilmer Valderrama hosted a game show on,
That's sad.
I think it was on MTV or VH1, called Yo Mama, and it was Yo Mama joke battles.
Oh, wow.
I do
You remember this?
that. It was terrible, yeah.
Yeah, it was really bad. Of course
really
it was
bad.
bad.
Is he, like, whatever happened to him? Has he died of a drug overdose
No,
yet?
he guested on last night. Nope. What is it?
Last week
John
tonight?
John Oliver's show.
Oh, last
last
night
week
tonight.
Last week tonight.
Last night and a half.
That's true.
As a flying chicken thing.
So he's doing well for himself, is what you're saying.